Shalom, Holy Nation. Welcome back to Righteous Reactions. I got an interview on hand. Got some people that y'all should know about. If y'all don't know about them, I don't know how y'all been sleeping on a rock this long. So, without any further ado, I'm gonna put them on the screen and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. We got SELAH Soul in the building. All praises, all praises. So let's start off with a little bit of introduction. Everybody, y'all can go like left to right or something like that. And everybody introduce themselves. What's your name? I don't know if y'all all from the same place or maybe where y'all from and everything like that.
Okay. So my name is Max and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And I'm Kawalia, aka Q, and I'm from Los Angeles, California.
I'm Sagala. I'm from London, born in Jamaica.
Oh, snap.
Right.
And I am Shannon. This is my hometown, Cali.
Okay, so it's a little diverse over there. I like that. I like that. So how do y'all all get to LA and build this bond that y'all got? Because I can see it through all the videos and seeing what y'all be doing with all of the events that you guys have, and I could just feel that bond that y'all got. So how did that happen?
You want to start?
Yeah. I feel like, well, we belong to the same congregation, True Nation Congregation. We all sing in the choir.
Okay.
And it's a culture here at True Nation that we have a strong sisterhood. We really push that. We have our monthly women's roundtable. We have our women's group chat. We're like a big family here. We take care of each other's kids, share recipes.
I love that.
Try on. She was a doula for me when I had my baby.
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
That's how we have that bond.
Okay, so it's like y'all build a real, like you said, sisterhood in the congregation. So that's how y'all build. So what made you guys come together as artists to start making music? Because I found it interesting that we don't have more like women groups, within Israel. And to see like 4 women coming together and kind of bringing back that old school, vibe, it was like, okay, this is refreshing right here. You know what I mean? To see that. So what made all 4 of you guys come together like musically?
Yeah. So I would say 9 years ago, we did start off, it was already a choir.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop Tazaiwan from our home,
Yes.
He came up with the idea to have a girl group. And it was just supposed to be like, us doing praise and worship at church first, starting off that way. So from there, it was me and Shannon and another young lady. And when Max came along, it was like, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 after that already formed.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that she could sing. And I was like, look, I need to hear you sing. I went straight up to her after class, I believe. And I was like, can you sing something for me? And she did. And she had a beautiful voice. And I was like, okay, we need you in this group that we got.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of came from there. What kind of happened from there, we ended up coming together, joining, just, here and there, singing together, doing choir, like we said. Mm-hmm. We didn't actually get to the point where we started recording, not until maybe like, I would say a few years ago, we recorded our first song, Switched Up. Mm-hmm. And we did some stuff also for Tazaiwan as well for his album. So we was featuring and, doing different things like that. But it was mainly like, I would say we started doing the recording maybe a few years ago with Switched Up. And then we did our album. And then, our sister Gala came in a couple of years ago. I was on her too. I heard you could. I heard your stuff. Come on in.
So you just recruiting now here. You come here. Let me talk to you. That's dope. I like that. So, you said your husband kind of came up with the idea of a woman's group. Mm-hmm. What made you guys go from the the choir to wanting to like make albums together and I guess make a actual group out of it? Like what spearheaded that?
I feel like it's a natural transition,
Oh well, yeah.
especially when we had our careers in the world coming into the truth, and then okay, this is our talent, so we need to use it as our ministry. So it only felt right to then transition to okay, we're already featuring on other people's stuff, so why not put our own stuff out? I feel like it would be good for the sisterhood. We're always thinking about our sisters in a lot of things that we do as well. We want to be encouraging, we want to be role models.
Right.
So it only felt it was natural.
Okay. And I like that you guys keep on speaking about the sisterhood, because I think that that's also one thing that needs more attention, you know what I mean, and building the sisters up together. And that's why I like you guys as group, because not only are you guys visually together, but the things that y'all sing about isn't just about you guys yourselves. It's to uplift a lot of the sisters, to kind of speak a new life into them. You know what I mean? And that's one thing, like when I first heard you guys, and like from the beginning, like switched up time, I was like, okay, this, like, you know what I mean? I was expecting more. You know, I'm like, okay, but then when you guys started, when y'all, I think it was, which one what was the first like visual that y'all dropped? That was from like Milk and Honey? Yes.
It was
okay. I sent that to every woman I knew. I'm telling you, because I'm like, y'all need to hear stuff like this. Y'all need to see this type of stuff. Like, this is what, in essence, we should have as an example. You know what I mean? For our sisters, because not only was you guys showing the modesty, but you could just see the meekness in you guys. You could see the care that you possessed with the music, and with it was like, it was something that was really, I felt like, needed, especially at the time when it came, right? And it's funny because, like, right when you guys dropped the Milk and Honey album, I had sent like a couple like random songs, like from the videos and stuff, to a couple of my sisters, and then we went to Feast of Tabernacles that year, and every time I'm at Tabernacles, I'm usually the DJ, so I'm playing all the music and everything like that. And then I had played, I forgot one song that, and I think it was an ad that came on or something like that. And they said, hey, turn that back on. But she's like, that's my song. And I'm like, oh, you was actually been tapping in and listening. I'm like, okay, that's beautiful. And they're just like, nah, you know what? Go to the album, just play the whole album. And we had the album on repeat for like the whole night, for real. But it made me really happy to see that the sisters was gravitating to it and actually wanting to hear that type of music, rather than like listening to maybe worldly music or listening to other things that may not have as much substance. You know what I mean? So it was just a moment of like, okay, not only, because what I like about you guys' music is not only do you make music to edify, but you guys like to be transparent in a lot of the songs too, you know? And that's one thing that not only in women's music, but in men's music as well. Like, when we see transparency and when we see people talking about real deal topics, like the song Phases, love that song. You know what I mean? Because it has a deeper meaning than regular, you know, music. And it tells a story about how if you're married, you're going to go through phases. That don't make it the end of the world. And a lot of people need to hear stuff like that. But speaking about the album, was it because I know that the album, it feels so complete. So was there a way that you guys like went towards that album, or was it just like, okay, we're gonna get an album done?
I feel like it was just all in the spirit.
All in the spirit, right?
Like it was just the season for it.
Yeah.
We pondered on doing an album for a long time. All of us have, you know, our respected lives and families. So it was hard to kind of like get together to actually buckle down and do it. So I think that we all wanted to do a project, but it was just like, okay, when are we going to be able to actually do it?
Right.
And then two, we worried about like the ups and downs, the ins and outs of actually doing a project. So that was in the back of our minds. But I think what ended up happening, it was just authentic. We came together and said, look, we're going to start it off this way. Let's get together at the house and start writing. Let's do writing sessions together. And that's kind of how it like came about. Like as we mentioned, Bishop Tazaiwan had wrote some songs for us. And we just kind of put it all together that way and said, hey, let's do our first run at the studio. And it just felt good,
Right.
just felt like it was the right timing. And I really feel like, the Most High he was in the midst of it all.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like he allowed us to be able to reach so many different people from everywhere and make an impact. And so we're thankful for that and grateful.
I think though, like towards the end of the album being complete, we did use a little bit of strategy in there because we're like, okay, we talked about the marriages, we talked about family, we talked about the sisterhood. What about our babies? So then we did obviously a blessed be in there for the babies. So definitely it was orchestrated by the Most High, and at the tail end, a little bit of our own strategy to cover everything, everyone.
Yeah, that's what I said. It felt like a complete album because it wasn't just hitting on specific topics. It was kind of like all over, but it was like perfect. You know what I mean? It was a perfect way to do it. Like you had the love songs, you had the turn up songs, you had the song that was targeted to the baby. By the way, that's one of my favorite songs, Blessed Be. You know what I mean? That's the whole album is a really good album. It really is. But that's one of my favorite songs because like everybody knows I'm a big family person, right? And I love things that can target the kids because the kids they the next generation of this new wave of righteousness that we can push, to our people. So if they get it early and they get involved in it, you know what I mean? And that's one thing that I like about what you guys are doing as well. Not only just you guys as musicians, but what you guys do with your ministry. I see that y'all do a lot of targeting for the kids and stuff like that. And that is a beautiful thing because it's not often seen as well within Israel. So I can tell that the spirit is moving in that area. And that was one thing that made me gravitate to y'all, you know what I mean? And you can't fake the spirit. That's all I always say. You can't fake the spirit. It's always, you're going to be able to tell who got the spirit and who don't. You know what I mean? And just listening to your music and seeing the way that you guys move, you know what I mean? It's definitely a genuine, spirit-based and spirit-led type deal. So you guys was talking about how Tazayawan. Okay. Look, I'm gonna get these names together, y'all. Okay. Don't
Okay.
But so you mentioned that he did a little writing and he kind of helped with the music as well. How do y'all feel about him being so involved in that process? Like, does that kind of lift you guys up a little bit? Because it's like, okay, we have the man that's leading over the congregation and have so much care about what we're doing for us, the kids, and the nation. Like, how did that make you guys feel?
How did that make y'all feel, y'all? I mean, man. Well, definitely. I mean, me knowing him, he's a writer. He's a producer. Very, very intelligent and has a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
So, like, just hope the guidance that he's given us has always been like, man, like, how did you think of that?
Yeah.
No, he was the one that did Blessed Be. He was behind New Wife. And For You.
That's
so
a good
it was
song too.
Yeah. So I'm like,
Dang,
you really like you thinking about what we need to talk about, and it helped us because it was just like,
Yeah.
Right.
listening to us, what y'all think? Like,
And then it's always good having the husband's support as women when we're doing stuff like this, because it is away from our time at home, our time from the children. So, all of our husbands, they all got together and was like, we're behind you, we're supporting you. And then obviously to have Tazaya one spearheading with, how, with the writing and stuff like that, that it helped. We had all the support that we needed to bring this product to life.
yeah.
Okay. I like how you said that all the husbands came together and fully supported, you know what I mean, and had y'all back. Because especially with music, sometimes it can get stressful. Sometimes it can get overwhelming, you know what I mean, especially when you in the forefront, right?
Right.
And to have somebody's support, strong support, especially your spouse's support, you know what I mean? That's already a beautiful thing, because it kind of relieves a little bit of that, you know what I mean, knowing that you got somebody that cares about what you're doing. I think that that's just a beautiful testament to what I got going on over there. Honestly. I had a question about from my wife. She said, what is 2 of the most important things you guys learned in the walk? And we could just go one by one. And
I think I could start.
okay.
2 things that stand out in my mind right now, because you learn consistently being in the truth. But 2 things that stand out to me. One is that the Most High, His commandments are His love language, right? I think that it took me coming into the truth to understand that you can't just offer the Most High any type of love. Like His love, the way that He wants to be loved is specific. And I respect it because I want to be loved a certain way, right? So me understanding that the way that I feel love is specific to me is the same way that the Most High feels love specific to Him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I like that.
It made the transition into keeping the commandments really beautiful, because I felt like I was finally loving the Most High the way that He wanted to be loved.
That's heavy right there.
So that's one thing. And another thing that I feel like I learned is that being in the truth, while it can be challenging with your family, I've learned to be very patient with my family. I understand that even being in the truth, I'm still not perfect. And while the scripture is clear about the righteous and his neighbor, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you don't know who's who, you know? Yeah. The Most High is going to deal with whoever He's going to deal with, however He's going to deal with them. So I've learned to just be a light and to show my family love and to try to be a decent example, but just to kind of let them do what they're going to do, because everybody has a day. Right. I was told the truth a nice amount of time before I actually started walking. So me telling my family and them being intrigued about it doesn't mean that they're going to be on board immediately, you know? Yeah. And so I've learned to be patient with that process, and it's seemingly paid off. So I'm looking forward to just continuing to be patient with my family.
All praises. That's good, because I think that's one thing that a lot of people forget about the patience, and we kind of think that it's people should learn this or understand it overnight, you know, and honestly, that's just not realistic for a lot of our people. You know what I mean? A lot of our people, it's going to take them time and time before they, truly learn like what the walk is, how to walk it, or, anything. And maybe just because it's you telling them, that they won't be as receptive as if they hear from someone else. So by you planting the seed, you've already done your job. And a lot of people forget that you're supposed to plant the seed, and somebody else might water it down the line that actually trigger them to do it. But I always compare these two with the watering of the seed. If you pour too much water on the seed, it's not going to grow. You know what I mean? So you got to give it time and be patient and let it grow. You know what I mean? If somebody else need to water it, let them water it. You know what I'm saying? You can only do as much as you can, you know, before they're going to have to make a decision. So
That's right.
I'm gonna hold on to what Max said because I totally like I love that analogy she gave.
yeah.
I really feel like that's pretty much sums it up. Like mic drop. Definitely, you know, patience. I would say too to go along with that. Same thing with family. You know.
Yeah.
I learned the same exact lesson. Same exact lesson. I would say it's been a while, and I, like she said, I have learned so many different things in the walk, and you never stop learning. But I want to say that I've learned a lot about myself.
Mm.
I learned a lot about myself, and it's been a lot of it's been heavy learning about myself in this walk. It's been heavy because I didn't pay attention to myself before.
Yeah.
And you know, when there's a blueprint laid out for you, and you have to really see, like when you're looking at what the Most High is telling us to do, and you're reading His Word, all the wisdom that comes from it, you're seeing things that you really don't like about yourself. You're starting to really analyze, like, man,
yeah,
these changes that need to be made. And so, although it has been difficult, because it seems like it's so much more difficult to change something about yourself versus I can change the physical. I can put on fringes. I can put on a head wrap and a dress. But when it comes to that character, when it comes to really dissecting yourself and self-reflecting and saying, okay, I'm doing this and this is not becoming to the Most High, I need to change it. It's hard for people.
Yeah. That's a really important one too. Examining yourself is like top tier on the list, I think, you know, because a lot of people don't we get to learning the commandments and we, you know, get into the whole practice of, you know, everything like that. But I think sometimes what we forget is that we got a long list of things that haven't been doing right. That we have a lot of us don't have any knowledge that we've been doing wrong. You know, and like you said, when you get in the book and you start reading and seeing yourself, you know, the wickedness in you in the book, it make you really sit back and say, like, I could do this way better. I need to figure this out. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, I think, need to start learning about themselves to be able to conquer a lot of the things that they fight with. A lot of people, I think, don't realize that if you fix one thing, that can also fix a multitude of things if you just practice and figure that thing out. But if you hesitant on figuring that out, then other things may also be, you know, messed up in the end too. So always take it a step at a time and learn yourself. Learn the things that you battle with. I always tell the story about one day I was at work and I was reading Isaiah and it was talking about pride. Mind you, I never thought I had pride on me. Like I thought I was all humble, you know what I mean, and everything like that. And as I was reading, I'm sitting here like getting cut to pieces. And I'm like, and I had to sit back and really reflect. I'm like, I'm a terrible person. Like, but it was a good thing though. You know what I mean? Because
you can change there.
Exactly. And I was just like, dang, it's a lot of things that I need to change. It's a lot of things that I've never seen in me. And then it's crazy because like a couple months later, I went camping with some of the guys and some sisters that we was with, right? And it was a situation that happened where it was like extremely hot, like so hot. It was no shade anywhere. And I went to go get a drink. I popped the can open. Now, you know, heat make our people upset. It's just it's just a word out there. And I popped the can open and one of my ox, he's like, hey, can I get a sip of that? And I got so mad. You know, and I don't even like, and but then it's so crazy because immediately I rebuked myself because I was like, why did I get so angry with it? I'm like, nah, why would you ask me for this, da, da, da? You can go get your own, or you know what I mean? Why'd you ask me when I was already over there? Like, you know what I mean? And then, but
Wow.
immediately, before I even took a sip of it, I was just like, dang, why did I just treat my brother like that? Like, what if he actually didn't want a whole can? What if he just wanted a sip? Like, and then that made me think like, dang, what if somebody really was in need and I acted that way? You know what I mean? And this was all they needed to quench their thirst. But I was so selfish in that moment that I didn't even care for my brother. And it made me realize, dang, that's that pride that I was just reading about. And I was just like, here you go. I gave him the can, and I didn't even want nothing to drink for the rest of the day. I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? And I didn't even get nothing else to drink because I felt so terrible. But at the same time, I felt refreshed because I'm like, this is what he means by taking away the flesh. You know what I mean? And wanting to do righteous, because I could have immediately got right back in that pride, like, yeah, he shouldn't have really asked me for that. You know what I mean? Like, so it just goes to show, like, you never know who you are until you learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like what you said. That's a good point.
For me, definitely with a self-reflection. Me and another sister, we're over the teenage girls, and we teach them before the main Sabbath classes. So we're touching on subjects like that, especially with a self-reflection as an Israelite woman. So it's when you're constantly in self-reflection mode, it does eliminate a lot of stuff like you're talking about pride, submitting to your husband, having faith and all of that stuff, because once it's easy to point the finger and point out what somebody else needs to fix about themselves, but once you're in self-reflection mode, okay, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's fine, but okay, am I then going to react to that? Is that going to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Or am I going to stay on my square, stay rooted, and continue? So that's always at the forefront of my mind. And then I feel like that kind of leads into the second thing that I've learned about, which is doing things unto the Most High and not unto man. Like, even when I feel like my efforts or my love or my righteousness or anything like that isn't being reciprocated, who am I doing? Am I looking to get it back from them, or am I looking to get it from the Most High? And especially after having my baby, and just how amazing that experience was, I just knew that everything that me remaining in order with things and continuing to give, even if I didn't feel things were being reciprocated at the time, that was all unto the Most High. And He proved that to me in that moment when I had my child. And it's been an encouragement and a boost for me to continue with that mindset, because I know how the Most High can reward me, how He can keep me when things seem scary or shaky. So those are the two things for me.
Y'all dropping some gems right now. I like this.
As for me, the first thing that I'm going to say that I've learned in this walk, 12 years, is nothing or no one comes before the Most High. That you have to, because life be lifing, right? So we're moms to these babies, we're wives to the husbands, we're sisters in the body, we're doing works here, there, we SELAH, we're doing videos, this, that, and the other thing, and life is just happening, right? You have to make sure that, like I said, nothing or no one comes before the Most High. We cannot cause the cares of the world to become our idols, because the Most High is God, right?
Absolutely.
So we have to make sure, above all, that our individual relationships with the Most High come first, and then everything else in place. He'll exalt us in due time. I remember not a relationship, I'm sorry, but a conversation with Maxie. I call her Maxie. And we were talking about first fruits, and she's like, we have to give our first fruits into the Most High. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm not even out of the bed. When I open my eyes, I acknowledge the Father that He is all powerful. You know, I give Him those first fruits, the first fruits of my. I know I'm the preacher.
Come on now.
I know. Look, we don't realize that every day He answers our prayers because we ask Him, you know, keep us safe in the night, wake us up in the morning.
Yeah.
We wake up in the morning and we just go about, you know, our daily routine. No, He answers your prayer. Your eyes are open. Your heart is beating. So before you get started on your cares of the world, give Him the first fruits.
That's right.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the Most High, Yawasap, you know. So that's something that I've learned. And I'm gonna say I learned it through some hard lessons, but I get it, Lord. Thank you. I get it now. I get it now. You got this. We come first. We come first. So that's one thing I learned. And then the second thing kind of goes along with that, which is to be able to keep your mind under all adversity, knowing that the Most High is all powerful and nothing can happen unless He allows it.
That's right.
Ooh,
So
that's heavy.
what
Hey, that's nice.
whatever you're going through, whether it's good, bad, happy, sad, the Most High is allowing you to. So what's the lesson? Whether it is a test, a trial, judgment, whatever it is, the Father is allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
So whatever you have to learn from that, get that lesson, pass it, so you don't have to take it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to over and over again.
Yeah. That's good.
Keeping your mind and knowing that He is all powerful. That's it. You're gonna make it. You're gonna make it to the kingdom.
Yeah, that's right. Hold on, let me get some snaps in there. Hold on. Nah, she's definitely that's actually really good and very important thing for our people to realize, because I think that we get so overwhelmed, like you said, by the world and everything that's going on, everything moving so fast that we forget that we have the Almighty on our side. Everything that happens come through Him. And we sometimes we forget that everything that happens is from Him. So be able to get that lesson when it's come to you. It's funny that I somehow always come back to this thing of when you praying, right? You asking the Most High for, understanding or whatever the case may be. A lot of the times He gives it to you, but because He didn't give it to you the way you wanted it to be given, you don't think that it's from Him. You know what I'm saying? So just like you were saying, you don't know if the test is for you or whatever the case may be, but always try to find something in it because it's happening for a reason, right?
Yeah.
It tells you that those trials are supposed to build your faith, right? You're supposed to be encouraged when you go through tribulations. So if you're supposed to be encouraged, then there's something good within it, whether it be learning, whether it be the experience that you have with the people, whether it be humility, getting humbled down. All right, look, plenty of stories of being humbled down. You know what I mean? But so it's definitely something always in the midst when everything happens. Every time I go through a situation, the first thing I do is say, Father, what are you trying to, get me to acknowledge? Because I don't want to be out here looking stupid. You know what I mean? I don't want to be out here looking like, oh, they did this and who did that? No, I'm going to acknowledge you first and you let me know what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it. You know what I mean? Even if I don't think it's my fault, it's still my fault. Let me know what I'm supposed to do to fix it. So that's a good one. I love that. That was nice. All right. Baby, you got some good questions out here, All right. So with you guys being so diverse as far as the music goes, what would you guys say? Like, what is the type of genre, I guess, you guys all like individually? Is there a certain thing that you guys like to stick to? You know what I mean? Obviously, truth music is the best genre, but is there like a genre that maybe you guys listen to be inspired by?
I'm gospel. I love gospel and I love jazz. Jazz is like one of the ones I like. It puts me in such a calm mood.
Yeah.
And then gospel, I like one thing about me, like I thrive off of praise. And gospel, obviously now I'm singing with understanding, and I know, because the gospel music of Christianity, a lot of people have what they have to say about it, but I take that because I know I have the understanding now, and I apply it today. And when I say, man, I be filled with joy just being able to like praise the Most High through music and praise the Most High with my voice and the talent that He's given me.
Right.
So I'll be in there just praise, like, listen, everybody know, y'all know. Like, I will be, take me to the king in a minute.
Right.
Lord. So that's me. I'm a gospel and jazz. I love R&B as well. I feel like truth, when you say truth music, all of those different genres. So yeah.
Absolutely, because y'all opening up different ways to make music, and everybody's getting. The one thing I will say I love about Israel is that we are not trying to stay in a one spot with the music.
No.
It's kind of all over the place. Like hearing jazz, Israelite jazz music, Israelite country music, R&B, pop, rock. Like I heard a fire rock song not too long ago, and I'm like, I would have. I don't like rock music. You know what I mean? But the song was so fire and it had so many messages in it. It wasn't nothing I could do but listen to it. So, but also like how you pointed out that even though the gospel music is known for through Christianity, we still supposed to do praise and worship. You know what I mean? That's for Israel. So it's like sometimes we forget that just because somebody may have done it in a different way that we may deem as wrong doesn't mean it's not supposed to be done. Right. So I like how you definitely pointed that out, because it's look, some of my favorite songs is worship music in the truth.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Put on that. Come on, bro. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. I gonna tell nobody though. You gonna tell nobody though. We're gonna cut that.
I know. I feel you. That's okay. Anybody else? What y'all got?
Mine is absolutely the same. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, the same. Okay, so that means that it just meshes well for everybody.
Yeah.
More recently, I've been heavily inspired by classical music. I love the way that the piano sounds, but that's new. I've always been a guitar, acoustic guitar, electric guitar.
Acoustic, yeah.
I've always loved those sounds, but more recently, I'm getting a lot into piano. So like classical music has been really, it's been heavy in rotation for me recently.
That's good. I ain't gonna lie, my son, he loved the piano. I think I might have to buy him a piano very soon, because he been on that mug, and he like, how you, and mind you, he's 5.
Oh, Lord.
When I tell you that he remembers notes and stuff like that so effortlessly, I'm like, yeah, you gonna be doing something, for the Most High. This is definitely your gift, because you start playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and not missing no keys.
I know
what you want me to like. Yeah, so nobody like lo-fi, or you know what I mean? Reggaeton, or you know what I mean? Just
that's my evening get down, the lo-fi.
Okay.
I feel like because I had like how I started my career was in like dancehall music, Jamaican dancehall, or like reggae,
right?
And then I kind of ventured into pop. I feel like now I'm kind of training my voice to try and sound more R&B-ish. I feel like Kawalia and Max, their voice is more suited to that. So sometimes I'm very conscious of it when I like go to record. But it's just gonna take practice. I feel like, you know, my strengths are where they are,
You're right.
just like everybody else's voice. So
Mhm.
I like that you noticed that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the it's kind of like the parable about the arm and the leg and the eye and the foot, right? Everybody has their own gifts, right?
Right.
And just because one person does it this way doesn't mean that you also have to do it this way. Maybe you are, you know, gifted to do something different. One thing I will say that every time I hear you, I notice a difference. Like the song changes for a second, you know what I mean? But it makes it stand out even more because it's like, you know how sometimes when you listen to a song and you hearing it, it's so smooth and it like relax you. Like you kind of give it that
Together.
all right, wait back up. Pay attention. You know what I mean?
Great. She's an interruption.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a good thing because it just shows how much of a balance there is within the group. So, you know what I mean? And then also you're not, like you said, you're not forcing that, you know, to make you sound a certain way. You know what I mean? Keep that flair. I love that. You know what I mean? It makes everything come together. So yeah.
thank you.
I think that's what makes us different. Like we all have our own, you know, our own sound, but we
Yeah.
put it together and it becomes in sync. And so, I praise to the Most High.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah. That's very important. That's very important, especially when you're dealing with the music, because you always want to stay genuine to you know, to you and what you doing. Like just kind of like actually going back to what y'all was saying earlier about the everybody being their own individual and having their own individual walk with the Most High. It's the same way with the music. Like if you're gonna be serving him, you got a gift from him. Use the gift the way that he made you have it. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the upcoming music because I ain't gonna lie, a little birdie told me, you know. Hey, you ain't gonna get me to say no brother's or sister's name, okay? You know. But I heard that there was some music in the making, and I'm interested in listening to it. I don't know about them people over here, you know, watching the video and stuff, but me personally, I'm interested in what y'all got going on. So, what we looking at? You know, this coming, you know, I don't know, summertime maybe. You know, heading into the fall, whatever. You know. Maybe even spring, you know, because it's still spring, so you know. But what?
Well, we definitely collabing with Bishop Zion on his album, so we're like
Heavy on that.
Yeah.
Heavy in his album.
All
yeah.
praises.
So you will hear that. You will see that coming up. Which
I'm
is,
waiting. I'm waiting on that album too. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, this guy trying to do all these songs. I would say, I believe the first album is dropping in May.
Okay.
So I would say May.
He ain't dropping like no 20 tracks on. I mean 20 tracks is.
20? Well, it's gonna be 20. The first of the double album is.
Oh, it's a double. Okay. Look, I'll start sweating a little bit because I'm like, look, if I'm gonna be dropping a reaction, bro. Like,
yeah.
So the sweat is. You're right. It's 20 songs on the first album.
Oh wow.
Right? And then it's another 20 on the second.
Yeah, 23.
23.
But see, he's splitting it up, so
Yeah.
it'll give you can do
Praise the Lord.
red one, part two, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk to him.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if we can do like a 4-part reaction or something like that.
Yeah.
Try to react to 20 songs in one night. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, he's infamous for part 1, part 2, and part. So yeah, y'all gonna be on the same page. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we do.
Yeah, we have singles coming out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Working on some things.
Okay, all praises. I'm excited to hear that too. You know what I mean? Like, also notice that you guys, with I guess you would say, rapid growth of you guys' music and the support, how has that affected you guys' life? Has it, because I will tell you, it's kind of hard when you start getting bigger to remain at that same kind of, you know what I mean, stage of, I wouldn't say, kind of humility, but sometimes it can get overwhelming just having all of that pressure on you. So have that like really affected you guys' life in any way, or what do you think?
The only way that it's affected my life is that I feel more compelled to actually get dressed when I go outside. Because
I feel that.
I experienced a while ago where I was looking crazy in the store and somebody asked me for a picture and I said no, and I felt really bad, and they dragged me. And I understand now that like I need to kind of be somewhat ready. So knowing that people have come up to her, people have come up to me, that's from SELAH. So it's like, okay, so I need to let me put on something that at least matches.
Right.
When I'm even going just to the gas station or something. You know what I mean? Like, but pretty much that's pretty much the only thing that changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like it caused me to have to step it up. You know what I'm saying? Like really, and I'm still working on doing my best, like, you know, working on my craft as an artist to be able to produce in excellency. And so practicing, like I like to practice. I don't always practice when I need to, but I'm a practice type person. And like really making sure I know what I'm doing. So it has helped me to step up.
That's good.
Definitely. I feel like all of us have just, you know, knowing the ladies, like all of us have remained in a humble state. We always talk about how grateful we are for the opportunities, every door that has been opened for us, and every door that is going to be open for us. We're just happy to be able to, you know, reach and change lives based off of what the Most High has given us.
Right.
And it's just good to hear, you know, we've been hearing a lot of people coming to us, and it just catches off guard sometimes. Like I said, in the street here in LA, you know, I be feeling like most of the Israelites is in like the South. So that's what I feel like here on West Coast. We see people, but it's not like, you know. So just hearing somebody getting the messages from people saying how, you know, you don't understand how your songs have changed my life, have even, you know, kept me in this truth and kept me in this faith. And I even told the ladies that I got a testimony from somebody that I was actually at work and then went to the store across the street. He was bumping SELAH so loud. I'm like, who was this? You know, like I know who it was. And literally when he saw me, he started crying. Like crying.
That's crazy.
Oh, like I've been going through it. Y'all songs help me through. I tell everybody about y'all. They probably, you know, people in the store, they probably know as well. So it keeps me humble and so that's what I would say for me.
Yeah, it's exciting for me because when I decided to take this walk seriously, I was ready to give all of that music up. Like that was gonna be in between me and serving the Most High correctly. I was ready to throw that away. So just to be able to use my gift to help and inspire and encourage others, that in itself is humbling for me. So it's just to hear everyone wanting to hear more, or you know, really checking for us, that excites me, and it, you know, and it's another encouragement for me to want to do more, continue. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, as for me, you know, it's kind of easy for us to remain humble because we understand that this is ministry.
Right.
So
that's sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but that is very important to realize that what you guys are doing is 100% ministry. And I think sometimes our people with the music, they forget we supposed to be doing this to bring awareness to the Most High, to bring uplift his name. You know what I mean? And it's just, Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, all praises. It can get a little wild, because like I said, we mommies and wives, and you know what I mean? So it can get a little crazy, but we have an amazing manager. We call her Momager. Shout out to Naya. Naya keeps us grounded and organized.
Hey, all praises.
Yeah, we got a good momager, we call her.
Yeah, she sent me a text message and then she called me immediately and I was like,
Yeah.
okay. She's like, they waiting, so just send the link. Yeah, I know. She told me she in Arizona or something. Yeah, so that's dope too, because to have somebody that's gonna help you out, because to be honest with you, I'm doing this by myself most of the time. But even though gotta give my shout out to my wife because she be helping me out a lot. But
That's right.
you know what I mean? But a lot of this stuff I do on my own. And without having a manager and stuff like that, it can get hectic sometimes. So you know what I mean? Appreciate you, sis. You know what I mean? For helping these sisters out, because I'm pretty sure they need it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we get a lot of support. We have our SOB, Sisters of Virtue, our team that's behind us all the time. Like anything we do, they want to be a part of it, and we want them to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Our leaders here at True Nation, we're overwhelmed with support and love, and they always giving us spiritual guidance along with encouraging us to keep going. And they do remind us, Bishop Tazaiwan always says this is a ministry, and keep that first and foremost in your mind, and that's going to continue to take you guys a long way and carry you. Let the Most High carry you. He's opening up doors. You know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High.
I see them doors being open. So, you know what I mean? And that was one thing that I could easily sense with y'all spirit, that y'all have the mind for this, and y'all have a spirit that could accept it. Every time I hear y'all talk about how grateful y'all are and how humble, it feels to be able to be in a position that y'all in and everything. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing to be able to see, that, even with all of the accomplishments and things that's happening with y'all, that y'all can still understand that, hey, I need to be grounded in a situation like this. You know what I mean? It not only does it speak to people that's making music, but it also speaks to the sisters, because a lot of the times, that's a issue with the sisters, where they don't understand that even in a situation that's as, big as this, it's still very important to maintain that type of spirit. Men too, but especially for the sisters, because it's going to be more things that's going to be overwhelming. Y'all still, have to take care of kids. Y'all still have to do this and do that. You know what I mean? And especially with y'all taking the initiative to talk to the younger sisters. Y'all talk about the SOV. When y'all start saying that, I immediately start singing the song in my head. But just showing all the attention that y'all bring to everybody and everything like that, and still being able to maintain that humble spirit, because it would suck to have anybody be big-headed in that position, So this has been a really good interview. So, what would a piece of advice be to any younger sisters in this walk? Since we've been talking about how, that's been a really important thing, is the sisterhood. And, a lot of times people hear the sisters and they just think of the older sisters. What type of advice would you be able to give to the younger sisters as far as encouraging them to continue in this walk?
Okay, let me start, because I want to shout out our Sisters of Virtue Instagram page. Bayana, Amaria, and Sean. They're doing an amazing job with putting those gems out there where you can get upliftment and encouragement from our sisters here at True Nation. I would say that for them to follow that page, so that they can, that's one influence or one inlet to something that can keep them going. And then also cleave onto your sisters as well. Like, everyone feels like, oh my God, my situation is just so unique, so individual. No one's ever gone through this before. And you'd be surprised when you start expressing what you're going through. A sister has a similar testimony, or she has someone to point you to. Oh, she went through that. She's let her tell you how she overcame this. You know, so don't ever feel like you need to isolate yourself. I feel like that's the rookie mistake a lot of people make. Like, oh, I'm just gonna close myself off and I'm gonna figure this out. You don't have to. So I would say that cleave onto your sisters.
I think that's just a thing that I think has been, when you talk about those curses, you know, that's one of the things that really hits, where it's like it's been so normal for us to say that we supposed to get it on our own. We don't need nobody help. You know what I mean? To where it's now became a mental thing, to where we can't get out of that mental block a lot of the times. So be mindful and take advice. And you know what I mean? It's good to speak to one another, because nothing is common to man. All right. Okay, I forgot what the question was. Oh, the advice from the sisters.
To the young ladies, I would say same thing that Sagala said, and as well, like, don't be afraid to express your feelings, express what you're going through, ask your questions, you know, find somebody that you can talk to. I'll praise as if, you know, your mother is that person, but if you feel like it, you know, you need that counsel, just don't like you said, isolate yourself and think that as a young lady that you can do this on your own. There's so many sisters that have wisdom. There's so many sisters that have gone through what you're going through that can give you, you know, that wisdom and impart in your life, and just cling to that person or cling to those people. That's what I would say, you know, don't be afraid to talk, ask your questions and talk about things.
I feel like along the same lines as the Kawaya and Sagala said, you know, use your support system to the fullest. But I also want to say, just being in this truth for 12 years, almost 13, the Most High has been gracious enough to allow me to have these years to get it right, you know, and still striving for perfection. So no one has arrived. I haven't arrived. But the thing is, we're closer to the end than ever. So use your support system, get the help, lock into these scriptures, because Most High is on his way. We're near to the end, so you don't have as much time as like I did to get it right, you know. So get it, lock in, so we can get this kingdom. That's my advice. Do it, get it. Don't play with it.
Don't
So kind of like going off of what she said, my advice would be to study. Man, you got to sit down. There's nothing in the world that's going to change you but the scriptures. That's it. And if you don't know them, you'll be the same. So you need to sit down and ask the Most High to reveal to you what He would have you to understand, and then sit down and get the information. It's the stability. It's our stability. So you don't sit down, and if you don't study, if you don't make time, you know, I know that as women we have a lot going on, but as people we have a lot going on. So we really don't have any excuse. At some point, make it a point. The scripture, the prayer says, "Give us this day our daily bread." Every day you need something. It's wild to me to think that there are people who only get the scriptures on the Sabbath. You know, you need them every day. We need them every day. So whether it be a precept, whether it be 4 chapters a day, which if you read 4 chapters a day, you will read your Bible in a year. Just so you know. But whether it be a little or a lot, man, get you something. You know, I always have felt like whatever you feed is stronger. So if you feed your flesh, it will be stronger than your spirit. If you feed your spirit, it will be stronger than your flesh. Whatever you feed will be stronger. So making sure that you feed your spirit and get what you need, whether it be hearing the scriptures through class, whether it be reading on your, make sure you get it in. For anybody young, anybody old, anybody that's in the truth, that we need the scriptures. So make sure you get them.
I like that.
Righteous leadership. Find righteous leadership.
I like you said don't just get the scriptures on the Sabbath. Because if you think about it, you just come on the Sabbath to hear the word. That means that only one time out of a 7-day week you getting it. That means that 4 times out of a month you getting it.
Right.
That's 4 times out of 30 days. Like
It's starving.
32. Like that's crazy. So definitely that's I think that especially like when we were young and growing up, we didn't have a care for the scriptures as much as we should have, but we also didn't really have the scriptures like we should have either. But with this new generation, I think that if they prepare themselves, they just don't understand how much of a blessing they will be for the world, not just for us, not just to your parents, but for the world. Because if they fix a lot of things that we already had problems with, then a lot of the issues would stop from them. And then another thing is, like you were saying, go and speak to some sister that already has this experience. One thing I noticed with young kids, we don't think that elders understand the struggle of being a kid.
Right.
We were there first. Like we know we already know it. And then if somebody has 10 years of experience and you have 1 year experience, guess what? If they tell you the 10 years of experience, you don't have to experience it anymore. You can just bump up, right? And you're gonna go further. But if you want to go through them steps, then you're going to have because by the time that person that had that 10 years of experience, when you get to that 10 years, they're going to be 30 years in and you just now get in here when you could have been up there. You see what I'm saying? So they have to understand that use the people around you. Get, like you said, get with some righteous sisters, you know what I mean? To really build yourself up. And I love that y'all are also carrying yourself that way to be those righteous sisters that they can look up to. You know, I see a lot of young sisters like in the truth that want to be here, but also may be hesitant, and to see other Israelite sisters that's continuing and staying strong in it is really encouraging them. You know what I mean? So even if you don't have a support system, you know, around you, like she said, go find one. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to reach out to other sisters either. You know what I mean? That maybe even around your age to talk to, not to get advice from, because they, you know what I mean? Unless they done learn something from their parents. But yeah, that's very important. I mean, all you guys are married, correct? Okay. So this is just a question that I think is a good question. Maybe y'all can all like kind of work on this together, right? You see a lot of single brothers and sisters in this walk that may desire a husband or wife. What would be the 5 things that y'all would collectively say to be looking for a spouse? This is for the sisters, because, you know, they need that type of guidance.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, be honest with yourself first of all. I really need you to really sit down, like maybe even you have your friends now, so they can kind of tell you where your faults are if you haven't reached that level of self-reflection or whatever. Really sit down and sit with these thoughts of who you really are. What do you have to offer realistically? What are you in that mindset to really submit? Have you really submitted to the Most High's will? Have you really are you in agreement with what these scriptures say? Especially my husband, he's a poster child for talking about polygyny, and I know some people don't agree with it, whatever, but things like that, where are you with that? It's gonna play a big role. It's gonna play a big role in how successful your marriage is. If you don't know yourself, because then it's just, if I don't know myself and I'm even courting this person or proving them, it's kind of useless, because I'm courting and proving them on a different idea of who I think I am.
Right.
So that's very important. You really need to know who you are and be realistic with yourself. You're not going to ever be perfect. That person's not going to be perfect. So based on that knowledge, how do we move forward? How am I going to navigate this with this person now? So know yourself. That's number one. Go ahead.
Well, I was basically going to say the same thing, but in the realm of like working on yourself. Like if you're first coming into the truth, you don't need to be worried about being with anybody else, because you need to solidify who you are in the truth. When you come into the truth, you're going to change, right? So if you get married before you make that transition, you may marry somebody who is attached to your old version.
Yeah, that's important.
You know what I'm saying? So like making sure that you are actually in the process of becoming new. I know, it sounds easy when it says that you're a new creature, but it's not an instant process. It's not instant. It is a process.
Right.
So making sure that you kind of go through that process to become a new creature, and focusing on that, so whoever you attract, and I do believe that whoever you attract will be in that same mindset, or they'll at least understand where you are, and the fact that you're working on yourself and you're trying to make sure that because overall, regardless of being a wife or a mother or a sister, first and foremostly, I'm a servant. So I got to be the version of myself that the Most High wants me to be at all times. And if I'm not in a mind to understand that that's first, everything else comes in and it kind of distracts you.
Yeah.
So once you determine, okay, I'm a servant, you can take that into motherhood. You can take that into being a wife. You can take that into being a sister, and it will help with those relationships.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
100%.
100%. Self-correction. I guess that's 2. We got 3 more.
Oh, after you've done all that, because reality is, sisters want to get married, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
It is. You know what I'm saying? And after I 100% agree with Max and Sagala. Like, you definitely gotta know. You gotta be ready. You gotta know what you're getting into. You gotta know what your role is. You gotta self-reflect. You gotta understand what being a wife is. But then also too, after that, and you get ready, and the Most High is kind of nudging you and sending someone your way. Don't just keep looking. You need to prove and take your time proving. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna keep it real. Excuse my language. Don't be hot in the twat first and not, you know what I'm saying? Ready to see and prove this person, because you want to make sure that whoever you do marry, he has leadership quality. He's able to lead you righteously. And I'm not saying that along the road there's not going to be things that he makes mistakes in, but overall, just knowing that he's genuine about the Most High, like he's
really important.
He's all about the Most High, and he wants to lead you in the right direction. He cares for your soul and your salvation. And so a lot of times we just miss that. We get, a lot of sisters get into marriages and relationships, and it's just like they still have a worldly mentality. They still, looking for 100% romance and looking for get out of the marriage versus like, man, what's going to be what's the foundation, and what are we both kind of like bringing to make each other better? What are we building?
Right.
So building is going to be important. And if you coming in with the wrong mindset, then it's going to be a lot of. So I would say proven.
Proven.
Okay, well, we have
self-reflection, proven, self-correction. What else we need?
Taking your time. So we only got one more.
All right, take your time.
Yeah, take your time.
Take your
Take
time.
your time,
So
take
that's
time.
so that's 4. And then
You could
Yeah, because you guys already tapped into
Yeah.
what we have to do as a woman first. Now you can go in and say what.
What's characteristics?
yeah.
Well, I said leadership quality. You want a man to like
Yeah.
lead and guide you.
Right.
Righteous.
Yeah. Something else you need to look for in, you know, your potential husband. First of all, like they all said, you need to kick back, you need to wait and observe. And make sure he's not just taking you for less.
Yeah.
Make sure, because that's not going to be great in the end.
Mhm.
So take your time, observe, make sure he wants you for the right reasons. Yeah.
That's important. That's very important.
Yeah.
Can't be moving off of lust, man. That stuff is that's already a bad situation to be in. That's some good advice for the sisters as well.
All praises.
Yeah, because
We
everything-
cannot be.
I was 6.
Oh,
We got.
hey, that's
Some-
I mean, if you want to get more, that's up to you. You know, ain't never not enough advice. You know what I mean? And we need help out here, but okay. And I got one more question. This question is just kind of random. Who's the funniest out of y'all? Because every time I'm watching y'all, I can just tell that y'all just be giggling it up and having fun and all the time. And I just be like, I know somebody just always making everybody laugh. Who the one to do that?
No, it's I think it's a little bit of everybody.
Everybody.
You got some joy being up in this truth, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. Gotta have that joy. For real. In the curses, one of the curses, it says, because you don't have joy in keeping the commandments, I'm going to have these curses come upon you. And I always try to stress that to my family, to brothers and sisters that's around me. If we can have joy in this, it ain't no reason for us to even think we're going anywhere else. You know what I mean? Because if you don't enjoy what you're doing and find joy in it, find glory in it, find some praise to have it, you're gonna get burnt out. It's not gonna feel the same. You know what I mean? So, and that's another thing too. Sometimes you have to go find the joy in it. Right? Because it ain't gonna always be joyous. So sometimes you gotta find the joy within this truth and stick with it. So
yeah, I would be like, I think that I'm the one that always try to crack a joke, and I don't think it's always funny. And I think that sometimes they might laugh just because it was kind of dumb. Like, what did you just say? Or I'm always trying to do random and crazy. What do we do? It's, trust me, it shows like, oh, she want to hang from ceilings and stuff like that. So I think I'll be trying to do the most and it's funny. But sometimes I'll be dead serious. But I gotta laugh it out because
sometimes when you dead serious, that'd be the most funny because it's like,
really? Everybody has a really great, funny sense of humor. We joke a lot. Like you said, we get together, certain things. Somebody would say something random and just like, that was funny. Like, just start busting. I think Shana be having me rolling all the time. What? She definitely has some acting skills too.
Yeah, she
does.
does.
Like, yeah, so I think we all, I like every little pieces of everybody that makes me just like, you funny. You are funny.
That's good. I know I said that was the last question, but I forgot to ask this question. I don't know how I forgot. But what would you guys say is like y'all favorite song that y'all made since y'all been in the truth? And why? And why was it your favorite song?
Mine's is Keep Her in My Way. I think that's mine right there.
Our jam. That's our jam. Because I'm telling you.
Yeah, Keep Her in My Way, man. Like, I feel like Keep Her in My Way might have been the very first song we recorded for Milk and Honey.
For Milk and Honey, yeah.
And I think that was the one that we weren't gonna. It wasn't completed, but before we completed it, it was like, oh, we're not gonna use this one. We're gonna just remember, I think I might have said, I don't know, should we use this one? It was like, we're not. And then I think it was just probably in our writing session at a point, it was one melody that I was singing, and we all was just like, oh, we built on that. But when we went to the studio, it all just came together. And man, I felt it. I was like, this is the one. Like, and I was listening to it every morning before going to work. And it was just, I don't know, that's my jam right there. I love everything from the beginning to the end, the words, how it makes me feel. I'm a stickler for backgrounds. I like how the backgrounds came together.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love that. That's probably one of my favorite ones. I know I keep on saying that everything is my favorite, but like it's just I'm sorry, the music is just good. So
Right.
Favorite.
Or maybe even not even a favorite, but maybe just a song that may stick out to you more than the others, maybe for personal reasons or you know whatever.
Okay, so Switched Up is probably
Yeah, I like that song.
one of my favorite because I didn't know if I could write truth music. Like I didn't know if I could write anything that was true to where I was at that point. And it was very honest. I feel like it came from a very honest place.
Yeah.
So I think that one probably stands out the most for me because it was me kind of understanding that the Most High was okay with me doing music in the truth. Like similar to Saj, it was one of those things where it was like, if I do it, I do it. If I don't, I don't. You know, I knew I was going to sing in a choir. I knew I was going to lend my voice somehow.
Right.
But I wasn't really tripping off really doing music.
Taking it serious, like
yeah. So
and stuff.
that was one of the first times where I felt like, oh, okay, no, this actually could be works. This actually could be something that I do here, you know.
You know, and then sis was like, "Hey, we need you in this group." So,
so I think that's probably my favorite for that reason.
Yeah.
Mine, it changes, but mine was for the longest, "I'm Yours" featuring Tawab. Just from the way she started off the song, I just love the like it just
Shout out to her. Shout out to Tawab.
Yeah,
Shout out to all on the Milk and Honey album.
Yeah.
So for the longest, that was my favorite song. But so far, it's the unreleased stuff that's been my favorite. I've been bumping that. So.
Yeah. All right.
I know. We'll be hearing that soon. But yeah.
You will have a reaction coming soon.
Yeah, for sure. Like just have the manager hit me up with the song, you know what I mean? Like or just give me hey, it's coming, and then I'm gonna be ready. Make sure I'm close to the PC, you know. Make sure we get it out.
For me, it's kind of hard to choose because we just let that album run all throughout the house on the speaker. But I think that one song that I what is it called? Connect with the most is Phases.
Yeah, Phases. Yeah.
Just because that's life and it's real and marriage is a challenge and it's great, and just understanding that you're gonna go through phases. But it's all right. It's just a phase. It's gonna pass.
Yeah.
And you get on, and then just wait for the next one because the next one's coming.
Yeah.
But that's not my favorite song. My favorite song is by Law because is it no Dance With Me? What do we call it? It's by Law.
Oh yeah.
When every time I hear that one, it just uplifts me. I feel
so
so
fun.
light and just. I'm on a tropical island, and from the very first blissfully, that's it. Home for that thing, and then we off to dancing. I'm dancing by myself, mind you. Like, oh, I love this song.
Yeah.
We play that song at the feast. I go running from my husband. I'm like, where's my husband?
Right. Get over here. It's time to dance. Yeah.
Right.
That's what's up. I think that what you guys are doing is a really great service within Israel. And I mean, obviously it shows with everything that's going on with you guys and how you guys are growing and building what you guys got going on. I always tell y'all one of my favorite artists in Israel. And I think that a lot of people will say the same because it's just a realness with you guys, and the music explains everything that needs to be explained. And you guys have a good spirit on y'all. It's everything is from the Most High. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you guys are taking this stuff serious, and I'm glad that you guys continue to push the culture of our people with this music. You know what I'm saying? So anything that y'all want to shout out, or maybe how to find you guys or anything like that. I know you guys said Sisters of Virtue.
Yeah,
You better get it.
Brewchella for sure. Y'all out to that in Los Angeles, July 28th. In Gardena, California. Make it if you gotta fly out, make it a vacation, y'all. There's beautiful places here in California that you can go see. But most of all, Brewchella Family Music Fest. It's a family thing. Come out, bring your children, bring your friends, your family. We want to see you there. You get a chance to see us, hit the stage that we're excited about.
Right.
And many, many more wonderful artists. You're gonna see, of course, you're gonna see the whole True Nation,
right?
Gang, Bishop T, Josh, the whole team. You're gonna see us True Nation Music Group, TNIC. You'll see us all, but then we have so many other great artists that we're excited to meet ourselves and to share the stage with. So you gotta be at Brewchella, y'all. Come on.
Facts. You better. Hey, she ain't lying. You better be there, because I look. If I don't see eyes and ears all over the place, I'm telling you, look, you better stop playing.
And then many more. Like the whole weekend is gonna be a vibe. We got a couple of things lined up for everybody that's coming out to perform and just fellowship with us. And at Brewchella is gonna be a couple of fun little things to do, for the children and apples and all that fun stuff. So it's not just the concert, it's other things as well. So we want to make it a whole weekend for y'all. So come out and mess with us. Come mess with us on the
the West Coast. Facts. Look, I'm excited. I don't know, y'all probably seen the flyer. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna make my face, present. I was actually trying to make it when they had that show out there, like at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I was trying to, but my baby was like, "No, it's time for me to come. So you're not going nowhere." Yeah. So, huh?
Your baby called.
Yeah, I know, right? She was just like, it's crazy because she was born like a whole month sooner than what she was supposed to. But she was like, "No, I'm coming today." We went in there like just on some checkup, and she was like, "No, I'm checked out. I'm getting out of here today. I'm not staying no longer." So, but she's been a blessing for us, and I'm so glad to be able to raise a daughter. This is my first daughter, so. But to be able to have, sisters like y'all to have her look up to and say, "Hey, you see this on the screen right here? This is what we need to be trying to, be like," you know what I mean? And it's gonna be an experience, It's a girl, but I think it should be very fun because even though I have my two boys that I'm gonna raise and try to make them good men in Israel. To have a daughter is a different thing, and just trying to be able to maintain and keep her on the straight and narrow and trying to push her to righteousness, show her great examples and build her up, and Lord's will, she can, be an example to the sisters coming after her. So, again, I appreciate you guys. Is there anything else you guys may want to shout out? Maybe how to find y'all music, when the next drop gonna be or something like that? or you know.
Follow our page.
Instagram.
Yeah, real SELAH. Well, no, SELAH Soul _ on Instagram.
Yeah.
We the same on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, Facebook is Selah Israel. For whatever reason, I'm not able to change the name, but like
You can
she
follow
said,
us there.
you can
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah.
We
So
have a music page too.
yeah, we'll be updating everybody on the status of our music and the drops that will be happening from the
Okay.
page. Yeah, follow all of the pages and stream Milk and Honey on all platforms.
All platforms. Yes. Please.
Yes.
Because boy, I'm trying. And if you've been in Israel for this long and you ain't heard this album, I'm gonna be honest with you.
And for sure, I'm sure everybody wants
Sure.
to make sure that we thank you for everything that's already taken place with this album, for all the streams that have already happened, for
Yes.
you guys got us in rotation on BET Soul, from just all the
That's right.
support
Wow.
via all of the social media stuff. So thank you so much for your support already. And please continue to share it so that we can get more artists that are interested in, showing their talents in Israelite music. So
Right.
I feel like kind of make it a thing, the more that people will be willing to kind of get in and, do the thing. So yeah, let's get it popping. Like what we're doing is way more significant than what the world is doing. We just gotta,
Absolutely.
we need us. So let's support each other.
Yes.
Thank you so much for what you've already done. Yeah.
Big shout out to you too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
Righteous
think you
reactions.
Yeah.
Like you have young boys looking up to you as well.
Yeah.
That admire you. And so, big
My
shout out to
nephew
you
is
as well.
one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I know. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, okay. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. And you know what I mean? Even though look, this ain't my channel, this is a channel for Israel that the Most High gave me. You know what I mean? So just as much as this is my platform, this is y'all platform as well. And it can't, like I literally can't, be this, I guess, big in Israel without you guys. You know what I'm saying? And what all y'all doing as far as dropping the music and doing this stuff. So y'all showing y'all gifts and me lending the ear to it is really the reason why all of us is here. And I think that later down the lines, people will realize that this is just based off of genuineness and us wanting to be unified and, everything like that. And you guys have showed so much love to me as well as me showing love to you guys. So I appreciate that as well, because y'all don't have to, but, you guys still show love to me. So I appreciate y'all just as much, and it's a reciprocated situation for sure.
Shout out to Righteous Reactions.
That's right.
All praises. All right. So without any further ado, y'all make sure y'all like the video. If y'all want to see more stuff like this on the channel, definitely like the video. Subscribe, turn the post notifications on and everything like that. And, hopefully this won't be just a one-time thing and we can have, more artists, maybe them returning back next time they drop something and stuff like that, and have these type of, build and, So all praises to the Most High. Y'all have a blessed night. I thank y'all again for coming on here.
You're having us.
And see y'all at Brewchella.
See you at Brewchella.
All right, shalom.